welcome back to another episode of Coast Football Weekly. Football is finally back this weekend as we gear up for round one of the 2026 season. On this week's podcast, we're doing things a little differently. We'll be speaking to players from all different age groups across the game, from MiniRoos to juniors all the way through to seniors. We'll be hearing from those putting on the boots for the very first time to those who have been playing in the same team for over 20 years. All different ages, all different experiences, but one thing in common, a love for the game. So let's leap in to our first guest on this week's episode. So what's your name?
Nate.
And how old are you?
6.
And who do you play for?
I play for Tego United Football Club.
Have you ever played before?
No.
Are you excited to play your first game?
Yes.
Tell me why you're excited.
Because I want to be like Ronaldo.
Is Ronaldo your favourite soccer player?
Yeah.
You think Ronaldo's better than Messi?
Yes.
Why is Ronaldo your favourite soccer player?
Because he won medal goals and Ballon d'Or, the soccer trophy.
He wins lots of trophies?
Yes.
On Saturday, what are you going to pack in your soccer bag?
Soccer boots and socks and soccer ball. And a drink bottle.
It's your first game this weekend. If you score a goal, what will you do?
Pursue.
How does that sound?
It's like, Sue!
Now, what do you want to be when you're older, Nate?
A soccer player and a boxer.
What team do you want to play for?
Portugal.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Invincible and hard kicks.
Now, do you have a favourite superhero?
Yes. Spider-Man.
What else do you like to do after school besides play football?
I like to come home and play my PS5 and my Nintendo.
What are your favourite games?
My favourite game is Fortnite and Roblox.
Now, Nate,
Yeah.
if a friend in your team was feeling sad or shy, how would you help them?
Take them to my coach and they can go to their moms and get better so they can play again.
Now, if one of your teammates scores a goal on the weekend, how are you going to cheer for them?
Yeah!
After the game, if mum says you can eat wherever you want, where are you going to pick?
Subway.
Subway.
I'll get a healthy sandwich.
Our next guest is taking the leap from MiniRoos onto the big pitch in 2026. So would you like to tell everyone your name and the club you play for?
My name is Lily Lane Smith and I play for Carryong Cougars.
So how excited are you for the new season?
Very excited. We played a number of trial games, so looking forward to start our first game.
And how long have you been playing?
This is my 7th year. I started in under 5s. I didn't play under 8s as I was the only girl in the team. I was excited to play again for under 9s and all girls competition with all my friends, and we played up an age group last year and this year, so we'll play under 13s.
And what made you want to start playing football?
I've grown up around football. Dad's very passionate about it and I enjoy playing with my friends.
How does playing on the bigger pitch make you feel?
It's more of a challenge, more of a run.
In the morning before the game, how do you prepare yourself?
I try to get a good night rest, have some Wheat Bix and a banana, make sure I tick off my checklist, like everything I need, and pump up music to get us going.
Pump up music. What's your favourite artist?
Alex Warren.
And on the pitch, what is your favourite position to play?
I love goals.
Now, the Matildas were in Australia recently. Did you watch any of their games?
Yeah, I watched a few games and I'm really proud of the Matildas making the finals.
Do you have a favourite Matildas player?
Mackenzie Arnold.
Why are they your favourite?
I love her energy and she's a beast of a player. She inspired me to be a goalie and I read all her books, so learning how she grew up is so amazing.
And did watching them make you more excited to play football?
Anytime I watch a soccer game, all I can think about is playing soccer straight after.
And do you maybe dream of being a Matilda one day?
I'd love to play for the Matildas, but I'm just as happy playing my friends at Carryong Cougars.
Do you have any goals for the upcoming season?
Help my team make the finals and keep as many clean sheets as possible.
And if there's one thing you can improve on the most, what would you say that is?
Get more confident with diving.
And now round 1 this weekend. Are you going to win this weekend?
Definitely.
Now, last question. If you do get the win this weekend and Dad says you can have whatever you want for dinner, what are you going to pick?
Macca's or KFC. With Macca's, I'll probably choose a Big Mac and a frozen Coke. For KFC, I'd have 2 Zinger burgers with a Pepsi.
Those 2 very great choices. So thank you for coming on. I wish you all the best for the season ahead.
Thank you.
Our next guest is involved in the game in multiple avenues. He's a player, he's a coach, and he's also a referee. Welcome to the pod, Kyle Conroy.
Thanks.
Can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you first got involved in the game?
Started at under 5s with Southern, sort of played there until under 15s. We were meant to play under 16s there, but we couldn't get a team. So I took a move to Woy Woy to play under 18s, came back to Southern to play under 18s, and now at Wyoming in the under 18s.
And what made you get so involved in the game, obviously being a player, a coach, and a referee?
I just loved it from like the very start. I just enjoyed it so much, and I just wanted to get involved in like every way possible.
And how's the season shaping up for you?
Pretty good. I think we got a good squad for Wyoming, and it's a squad that can definitely compete for top 4 and go on to win.
What are your goals this year as a player?
Definitely top 4 will be the first goal. Once you sort of get into that top 4, you've just got to be perfect for 2 games, and then you can celebrate at the end and probably, I don't know, get more than 1 goal in a season.
Whereabouts do you play?
I was a goalkeeper for a long time, to be honest, from under 12s all the way up to sort of that first year at Woy Woy in the under 18s. Then next year came around, we had 2 goalkeepers, so I took a bit of time out in the field, played in the mids for a fair bit, and at Wyoming I think it's the same, hoping to play sort of in the mids again.
What position do you enjoy the most?
Probably centre mid now.
Yep.
It's a lot more pressure as a goalkeeper once you get to that under 18s level. So it feels like every time you concede a goal, it's a lot harder to come back from.
What do you enjoy most about playing?
Definitely like being part of a team and having others to celebrate with. It really makes you enjoy the game a lot more.
Now, speaking about your coaching journey, when did you first get involved in that and become a coach?
I'd started sort of helping out my brother's team back when he was under 11s and under 10s and all that. And then a couple years ago, one of my mates said that his team didn't have a coach, and I put my hand up for his under 15 side, and I really enjoyed it in that first year, and I've just kept going since.
Mm-hmm. And what do you enjoy most about coaching?
Probably sort of leading the team, being there for them, giving them the advice they need and all that. It really sort of helps out with that like perspective of football.
And what sort of coach are you? Are you sort of one that has a game plan and they need to stick to it, or do you allow them to a bit of freedom when they play?
I do try and allow a bit of freedom.
What have you learnt from being a coach that's helped at your own game?
Just the different perspective. When you're on the field, you think that every time you touch the ball, like there's pressure or there's just practically no time left in the game. But once you're coaching, you realize that it just sort of opens up the field for you. Like you see the whole field, you see all the players, and you just realize that there's so much less pressure on you.
And I believe you're playing in the 18s but coaching the 16s. What's it like coaching players so close to your own age?
Some are a bit challenging, but overall, it's all right. You know, you might get 1 or 2 that muck around here or there. They crack a joke now and then, but no, they're a good group of people to coach. They listen when they need to, and they know how to train and all that. So it's pretty good to coach them.
On to refereeing. When did you first become a referee, and what made you want to become a referee?
It was started with cadet refereeing at Southern, but it still wasn't something that I sort of enjoyed every weekend. But then, like through school, we had an elective, and it was called Football Academy. But one of the assessments was to referee a game, and I found it like really enjoyable. Although it was sort of 15As, 16As, and it's not the same every week. But yeah, no, I did end up really enjoying it, and it's what made me want to become a referee.
What do you think the biggest challenge is as a referee for you personally?
There's a lot that goes into it. You know, some could say like people on the sideline, the abuse that you could get sometimes. But for me, I sort of feel like I cope it all very well.
Abuse from silence is something that never should be involved in the game because without referees, there is no game, right? Do you feel like refereeing changes the way you see the game as a player and as a coach?
Yeah, definitely when I'm on the field and I question the referee's decision, it makes it a bit, or even on the sideline sometimes. But now, look, I know that the referees are there to do their job, and I'm on the sideline or the field to do sort of mine, whether that's to play or coach, and I sort of just let them run the game because I know that they're, been trained well enough to do it and they're qualified to do it as well.
And how do you manage playing, coaching, and refereeing all in one weekend?
Well, it would just depend what time sort of coaching and playing kick off. I know for the first game of the season, like on Saturday, my 16th kick off at 3 and then my 18th kick off at 2. So it gives me between 8 and 2 to referee a game.
Mhm.
But, most weeks I do have to like miss out, which is a bit of a shame. But it's just something I've got to do as well.
What role do you enjoy the most?
They all have their benefits and negatives, I suppose, of the of each. But for enjoying the most overall, I think refereeing might be the way to go.
Do you have any other hobbies outside of football, or are you just very football minded?
Other sports, but none really. It's just been football for the
Mhm.
longest time, ever since first game under 5. It's just something that I fell in love with and something I hope to do as a career as well.
Awesome. Well, obviously a big year ahead for you. So we wish you all the best as a player, as a coach, and we can't wait to see you in our local grounds as a
Yeah.
referee.
Thank you.
Our next guest on the pod, Avoca's Sonia Robertson. Thanks for joining us.
Not a problem. Happy to be here.
Now, everyone else nominated themselves to come on the pod. You were actually referred to by Karen in your team
Yeah.
to come on and tell the story about the Yummies.
Yes.
So what
yes.
exactly are the Yummies?
Okay, so the Yummies is a team of women football players, and we started about 20 years ago, and originated. I had to go back and think about how we originated because it was so long ago. I believe one of the girls' partners was playing for the men's teams, and what they were saying was they were kind of like finishing their season. They were rowers for Avoca Surf Club, and they'd finished their season, and it was kind of like, all right, well, what are we going to do now the season's finished? And football came about, and we all got together down Avoca because we all a group of women that came from Avoca.
Mhm.
Some of us knew each other pretty well. Some of us kind of were acquaintances. And we had a coffee, and then next minute we've got a football team happening. So it was pretty crazy. And 20 years later, yeah, I'm still playing. They're not. But the funny thing is then we ended up with the name the Yummy Sharks, which came from, I think one of their partners came from an older men's group, and they were called Gummies. And then they kind of thought, well, they're Gummy Sharks and we'll be the Yummy Sharks. And it's kind of stuck ever since.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And did you think back then that 20 years later, this team would still be going?
No way. No way. Kind of like, I think for the last 4 years, I've kept saying, oh, this is my last year.
Mhm.
It's my last year. I'm just letting you know it's my last year. I'm not playing next year. And I keep coming back. But I'm not playing next year.
You said it on a
I've said it
podcast
now.
now, so it's out in the ether.
It's out there. No way that I ever think that the team would be lasting this long. But, we've got a great group of girls, a great group of women that come together, and, we're all sort of like-minded and connected. So I guess at the end of the day, it's become, a football team where you have that sense of belonging, and you just love showing up to the games for the game of football, but also, we get to see each other, which is really nice. Yeah, it's a really nice thing to do.
Now, you've been a part of the team for 20 years.
Yeah.
How much in that time has the team changed? Is there anyone else that has been there for a very long period of time?
Some of the girls have been there. I think some of the girls are clocking on to about 18 years. Yes, we've had some changes. We've had changes where, we started with a little bit of a mixed age group, and then there was 1 year, our first year, where we actually went and played an over 35s comp that was played on a Sunday. Now we play Friday night. And then it kind of evolved again where a lot of the women's, their daughters were getting older, and, they wanted to play with their daughters, which was a really lovely thing to do. So it evolved that way, and now we're back playing over 35s again. So we've had people that have come and gone over the years, but we've still got a lot of players that are coming up to their 18th, 17th, 16th year playing for the same team.
It's incredible.
So you can see that we all stick together. Yeah, so it's really good. Yeah.
What are some memories that are over those years that really stand out to you?
Some of the greatest memories, we got to play the Masters games over in New Zealand. So we had a lot of the players from the Yummies, and we teamed up with some of the women players from another team that were involved in Avoca, and we kind of banded together and went and played over in New Zealand. So that was one of the best memories. I think I've actually got my shirt on that I wore over in New Zealand. So that was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And if anybody ever gets the opportunity to play in a Masters game, I say go for it. Because of that experience, we went and played in the Pan Pacific Games up in Queensland. So that was a really nice memory to have as well. Something I really cherish because I've never had an opportunity to do things like that before. But then on a local level, back in the day, one of our players that we had got really sick, so we put organised a fundraiser for that player, and we got to create a Yummies calendar one year, which was great. We got to go and do the photographing at Blue Tongue, what's it called now? It was
Central Coast Stadium, yeah.
Blue Tongue Stadium back then. And it was like hallowed turf. We weren't allowed to step on the grass, but we did.
Yeah.
And that was really good. So that calendar is still around today. I think that's about 20 years old, that calendar. But that was a great opportunity as well. So something to remember, putting back into the community, helping others. And I guess at the end of the day, that's something that our team does. We listen to each other, we talk to each other, and we have a good time together as well. Yeah.
Now, has there been many first place finishes or grand final wins in those 20 years?
Oh, we've played in 3 grand finals. We have won 1 grand final, and we've been league champions. Yeah, so that's pretty good innings. Yeah.
And going from women's all age, we reintroduced our over 35s women's comp on a Friday night.
Yeah.
What's that change been like? I think it's going on to its 3rd year now.
Yeah. I think it's the best thing that's ever happened. A lot of us, we've got families. So what was happening is we'd have some girls that were sitting on the fence as to whether or not to play on a Sunday because their kids were playing soccer as well, or they'd be playing other sports. So is that contention of being torn between, do I go and watch my kids play, or do I, play my own sport? So having it on a Friday night means that they can go and watch their kids on the weekend, Saturday or Sunday. We've got the weekend free. Now, one thing I've noticed now last year more than anything is that there are so many people actually coming and watching the game, which is fantastic. Once upon a time, we had no one. No one would come and watch us. But now, like, our husbands come, our families come.
They make a night of it.
It's great, yeah. And like the other bonus is now we get refs. So that's really good. We've played many, many years with no refs and no dressing shed. We get that now. So, yeah, so they're the bonuses.
Why should more women get involved in over 35s football?
Oh, look, it's just a great way to meet other women, be physically active, and it's a team. It means that everybody's working together to reach the same outcome. And from my experience, I tell you what, I have met so many people along the way. And it's really nice when we go and play other teams. So it's not just about Avoca, it's when we go and play other women's teams. And, you get to see these women that you've seen, say, 10, 15 years ago, and you go, oh, my God, you're still playing. This is great. So, no, it's wonderful. And I think it's a great opportunity for women to play sport together. Yeah.
How much do you think the female football game has changed since you first started playing?
I think since the Matildas came out has made a
Major
big difference. Yeah, big difference. And I noticed that because on the off season with the Yummies team, we play 5-a-side or we'll play indoor soccer as well. So sometimes the Yummies will be playing soccer all year. That's how much they like it. And I did notice that after the Matildas that we were seeing more and more women coming into soccer. So I think kudos to them for making it more, doable for women to participate. Yeah. So instead of sitting on the sideline watching other people, join in, go and do it yourself. Yeah.
100%.
It's great.
What do you think still needs to change in the women's game?
Still think that we're building to a point where we're going to be recognised and having the same support as what the men's teams do. It's getting there, definitely getting there, but can it improve more? Definitely, yeah. We should be seen more.
Now, being with a team for 20 years, is there any post-game traditions or any traditions at all that the Yummies do?
At the end of every season, the dates are put out at the beginning of the season. Get ready for it. Put your name down. Leave the date
End of
free.
season trip.
End of season trip. So the end of season trip started off at the beginnings one night, and now we go for a whole weekend. So we go away for 2 nights, and most of the time there's always a challenge because everyone's pretty sporty in this team, and they're very competitive. So there's always a challenge up for the weekend. So yeah.
Is it the same venue, different venue?
No,
switch
they're
it
all
up?
different. All different. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, all different and generally a surprise. Yeah.
Reflecting on it all, what's kept your love of the game around for so long?
I like the sport soccer. Look, before I started playing with Yummies, I must be honest, I didn't even watch a game. I never watched football at all. Since I've been with the Yummies, I've just enjoyed, watching a group of people reach a potential, improve on themselves, get better, work together. And I guess at the end of the day, the most important thing for me is the sense of belonging. I just feel that, if you say that I've played for the Yummies, you connect with those people automatically. Even some of the girls have played. We might have had someone that's played for 1 year with the Yummies, but you kind of think, yeah, I belong. We belong together. We've experienced, and we've done things to reach like a goal, not a football goal, but a goal together. And it's a really good feeling. Yeah, it's really good. So I hope the Yummies continue long after I leave, and I hope they keep the name, because I think one of the girls kept a tally on, I think we've had about 50 girls that have come, or could be more, that have come through the Yummies. But somehow, if you say, you might get 2 girls that don't even know each other, never met each other, and they could have played 5 years difference. And then you go, oh, I played for the Yummies. And
I
it's
was a
like,
Yummie.
wow, I was a Yummy too.
Yeah.
So I think there's that belonging. I think that's really important.
Women's over 35s kickstart our season this
night.
Friday night.
Yep.
Do you have a message for your team ahead of round 1?
Yeah, warm up. We don't want any pulled muscles at the beginning of the season.
Not this early.
Nope. Get the Denkerab out, warm up, and take a couple of Panadols before the game.
Thank you very much for coming on and sharing your story. We
No
hope the
problem.
Yummies have some good success.
Yeah.
And if this is your final year, we wish you all the
Oh,
best.
thank you. I'll probably come back next year, but anyway.
Last but not least, he'll be taking the field on Sunday in our all-age competition. It's Barnstonworth's Dominic Serio. Thanks for joining the pod.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So when exactly did your football journey start, and how have you sort of come to where you are today?
Yeah, so growing up, I actually, to be honest, hated football. I thought it was the most boring sport in the world. But when I met my partner in about, I think it was 2020, they're big into their football. They moved over from England, so they live and breathe it. Her dad's actually the president of the club that I play for at the moment. But yeah, started watching some games, played a 5-a-side comp with my mates in 21, then played for Wyoming in 21, had a break in 22, and then have been with Barnstonworth since 23. So yeah, it was a late start for me, but I've fallen in love with it. Absolutely love it.
And how's the team looking for this season?
Oh, yeah, we're looking all right. Numbers-wise, good. Injury-wise, as always, there are a fair few. So I think we've taken the 16 players into the squad for the season, and yeah, no doubt we'll need some backups when some injuries come through.
So coming into football pretty late in your life, what do you enjoy most about playing football and sort of all-age football?
Yeah, so look, growing up, I played cricket a lot. I think I started when I was like 8, finished when I was about 16. So coming back into a team sport, that's my favourite part about it. So just the camaraderie of having your mates that it's just a regular thing. You see them every weekend. Just something to chat about, common interests. I definitely miss that between my years of playing cricket and starting up with football. So that's definitely my favourite part.
We hear it every episode on this podcast, culture. Culture is the
Yeah,
big thing.
it's number one.
As an all-age 7 player this year,
Yeah.
is there a pre-game routine? Like we obviously speak to some Premier League players and theirs is sort of same meal every morning of the game day.
Yeah.
Even the night before, they might be eating a pasta or something.
Yeah.
What's it look like for you?
Yeah, so it's a bit different. So we'll look ahead to next weekend, round one. We play at home at 8 a.m, just over at Lisrow here, meaning we have to get there at 7 a.m. for ground setup. So not very impressed about that. But look, normally it's getting up as late as possible, maybe cracking a paracetamol or two, trying to get as many electrolytes in. So, yeah, normally feeling a bit dusty, get down, ground setup, a couple of poor excuses of a stretch, and then strap up a knee or something. There's always something going on, and then just get out there and hope for the best, really.
What is the best part about your team, you think, this year?
It's good. You know, we've had a core group in our team since our team's inception 3 years ago. Probably about 8 or 9 of us have stayed with the team throughout, and a couple left last year and a comeback. So it really feels like we've got a solid group of mates this year, which is nice. There's always a couple that come in and out in all age. It's unavoidable. But, yeah, this year I feel like, one, we've got a really close group of players and mates, and two, a nice variety of people. Like there's people that have joined the team that have never played before, haven't played in several years, and there's some that have played their whole life. So it's a nice variety, as you can expect in men's all age sevens. But, yeah, we're all just mates, which is the best part.
Who do you think, if there is going to be someone who's going to be the first person to get a card on your team?
Oh, look, to be honest, it's tough. The positions kind of rotate, but anyone in the back line, really, to be honest with you. The people that play in the backs, myself included, are normally not quick enough to catch the wingers on the other team or the forwards. So as soon as they get through, it looks like they're getting through, we'll just pull a shirt or something, take a tactical yellow and just get on with it. So anyone in the back line is the answer to my question.
Has the team spoke about any goals for the year ahead?
Well, last year it was heartbreaking. We made finals and we made it to golden goal and lost like the last kick of the game before it went to penalties. So that was the toughest part for us. We're definitely hungry to get into semis again and maybe go even further. At a club level as well, we didn't have anyone win the grand final last year. We had one grand final team. So hoping to do the club proud and make the GF this year. That's
some
the plan.
final footy.
Yeah, we love it. Love some. Last year was the first time we've made finals as a team. So we've got a taste of it now. And
Got the itch.
Yeah, we've got the itch and we want to go one further. That's the plan.
For your team, what does a post-game look like? Playing at 8 a.m. probably might be different to, 3 p.m. game, but is it sort of usually the same?
Yeah, it's fairly consistent. So if we get absolutely belted, everyone just grabs their bags and goes home.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Maybe at training if we're lucky. But after a win, whether it's like, we finish at 10 a.m., as you said, for an 8 a.m. kickoff, or in the afternoon, it's either a Gatorade or a beer or something after the game, have a chat about the result, and normally take the mick out of a couple of players that probably deserve it. So look, it's good. We're definitely working on it as a team. As always, there's a lot of people that just go there to play and then take their bag and go home. But, my favourite part about the game day is post-game, sitting around with your mates, having a beer or whatever it is, and, just chatting about the game.
Now, if anyone does follow the Barnsworth social media page, they would have come across your face before. How did all that start up becoming sort of the social media person for the club?
Yeah, so when I joined the club in 2023, my partner's dad was and still is the president this year. So he's always obviously very close in that circle of involvement around the club. So they were doing social media stuff, but it was very limited in terms of just Facebook posts, some fixtures every now and then. And I'm probably a self-admitted control freak sometimes. And when I'm giving my all in something, I really try to get involved. And I saw there was a potential to do it better. No discredit to who was doing it before, but I had probably some more time than the others to put some more effort into it. So that's where it began. It just started with, fixtures, results, just like some match day stuff on Instagram stories. And then obviously it evolved into, if you've seen the socials, some behind Barney Line stuff, which is a weekly video where we just follow a different team and interview some players and stuff. So it's definitely evolved. And I've loved every bit of it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of great content that comes out of that.
Yeah.
Some clubs do it better than others with social media, but it is a major thing these days, especially if you're trying to track players, if you just want to highlight how good your teams are doing, things like that.
Oh, look, I think it's really important. So you look at our club, for example, like we've got no juniors, we've got no grade team. It's just all age men's and women's, and then overage men's and women's as well. So for us specifically, I think social media is really important because it makes every team feel like the first grade side for the club. So like if I'm following, like for us, for example, if I'm following a men's all age 7 team and they get a weekly video that's 2 or 3 minutes long on social media, they feel like I would feel like a celebrity or something, having someone come in and film your game and interview players and stuff. So I think it's really important for the club as a whole I just think it kind of makes the average person feel more than the average person, which is, and because I'm playing all age sevens, obviously I know what that feeling is like. So
Yeah.
it's great to be a part of that and give that feeling to other people, make everyone feel important. Because unfortunately, like football's massive now, given like even compare it to 5 years ago. If you join most clubs as a men's all age sevens, unfortunately, sometimes you are just a number. You're one of 100 teams, and the social media, whoever's running it, wouldn't have time to get around to a men's all age seven side. So that's why it's important to me. And I think I would like to think that each team that I go around and follow or post a highlight of would feel the same way.
Did you have any experience in social media beforehand?
Not really.
No.
When I was growing up, I had I had dabbled in like the YouTube kind of sphere.
Yep.
So wouldn't say I'm comfortable in front of a camera, but I definitely have been before. Very low level, but I've always kind of been into it in a stage. Like so if I haven't been directly involved, I've always been kind of interested. So the first couple of videos that we filmed last year were really awkward, but
A few takes here and
yeah,
there.
there were a few takes, few cuts. A lot of people asked for the blooper reels, and they honestly would have been way too long. So, it was a bit daunting, but I have kind of had a history in social media to some aspect. So it wasn't the most daunting thing in the world for me.
You talked about 8 a.m. kickoff, so you got to do the ground setup.
Mm.
Being a volunteer, how important is that in behind the scenes of a successful club?
Yeah, any club on the Central Coast, like in CCF, if there were no volunteers, the club wouldn't run. So, for example, like you look at us on Sunday when we get down there. I mean, the team that's playing first sets the ground up, so technically you call that volunteer work. But the members of the committee are down there to make sure it's being set up properly. There's someone running the canteen, someone needs to be running the barbecue, someone's setting up the recorder for the game. So there's always something going on behind the scenes that will not get done if there's no volunteer work.
Fields have to be marked.
Mate,
each
absolutely.
week.
There's always something. So you name it, anything that needs to be done within the club is more often than not done by a volunteer. So yeah, incredibly important in today's world.
Now, you mentioned finals for the first time last year.
Yeah.
Do you have a favourite sport moment on the field?
Look, selfishly, I do. Last year we were playing eights, so a division below, but I backed up for one of our men's all age threes team. And we played at home last game of the season. They'd won one game all year. Came off the bench, scored like a last-minute winner. Carried on like I'd scored a goal in the World Cup final. Loved every second of it. And it won goal of the month for socials for that month. I think it was September or something. So, loved every bit of that. Disclaimer, I didn't actually pick that winner for goal of the month. It goes to a poll. So I might have pushed people in the direction of voting for me.
You reshared it a few more times.
Yeah, I might have. If you looked at the analytics, there were a fair few shares and most of them were from me. So, but no, that was definitely selfishly a highlight for me on the field.
And what about off the field? Do you have a favourite sports moment off the field?
It was 2024. I got Club Person of the Year award, which was my first year being fully involved, I suppose, in social media. And that was, that was really important because, you know, as you said, it's volunteer work. So it's nice to feel seen and have people appreciate the work that you put in. So that was definitely a highlight off the field for me.
And what can we expect for Barney Socials come 2026?
Yeah, so much of the same. Behind Barney Lines will be back. For the teams that are keen, let me know, and I will come out there and we'll do a Behind Barney Lines episode. So much of the same, but yeah, a couple of tweaks here and there.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to it and we wish you all the best for the season ahead.
Much appreciated. Thanks for having me.
To kick off the 2026 season, we have some huge fixtures across the Scrabble Premier Leagues. In our men's competition, action starts on Saturday night with 4 night games to kick off the year. At 6 p.m, we have Killarney hosting Terrigal at Edzak for the first instalment of the Ash Grant Cup in 2026, which also headlines our NPL fixtures in round 1 as our match of the round. Last year's league champions Budgewoi also get their season underway at 6 p.m, hosting newly promoted side Gosford at Budgewoi Soccer Oval. At 7 p.m, we have another 2 fixtures. The 2025 first grade Premiers Southern welcome Arimba to James Brown Oval, while the newly crowned Association Cup champions Berkeley Vale will face off with Wyoming at Mingara Athletics. On Sunday, the only NPL fixture takes place on the peninsula as we get our first look at Umina back in the NPL, when they welcome a strong Camel side to Umina Oval. Our WPL competition also kicks off on the Saturday night with a standalone fixture. Southern and Enelong host Kincumber for our round 1 match of the round as Tamer Mensah looks to kickstart the season with his new club with 3 points against his former club. Sunday, we see the entrance take on Umina at Pat Molly Oval. Terrigal and Camel face off at Duffy's, and the final fixture for the weekend, we have a rematch of the 2025 Grand Final. Two teams who battled it out in just another grand final just a few weeks ago, East Gosford and Killarney go head-to-head at Hilton Moore Oval, with all games kicking off at 2:45. Make sure to get down to your local ground and support your local club in what is shaping up to be one of the best and most competitive Premier League seasons we have seen in a while. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Coast Football Weekly. Please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube and leave a rating and review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll catch you next week for another episode.